Okay, we're ready to start the continuation of the hearing for 75 Warren Avenue.
Yes.
Do you want to go forward?
We do, but we were hoping we could get an extension on what we've got up until this point. We've made all the changes that you had asked, the screening
Do
changes.
you understand what the issues are?
I do. Yes.
You do. I mean,
do.
you've got some serious zoning issues. We just got a memorandum from the building inspector.
Right, from John Field. I got that as well.
I mean, based on that memorandum alone, we
Right.
have to actually deny the project. Do
Okay.
you understand that? Do you really want to go forward, or do you want to withdraw?
I mean, honestly, we're pretty invested in it up until this point. So,
But did you hear me?
I
It looks like based on that memorandum alone,
Right.
we would have to deny you.
okay. And I guess I'm trying to figure out why.
Because you don't conform to a number of zoning regulations.
Right.
And if we can get that relief from the zoning
And that's what we were
board.
hoping
Well,
for.
But
So, all right, so we have a meeting with our lawyer, Jonathan
that's not
White,
the only
tomorrow.
issue.
Right, so what we're asking for is we have a meeting with our lawyer tomorrow, Jonathan White, and we're gonna discuss kind of where we're at currently. He thinks we have a good shot at moving forward, but again, we need to discuss it with him. We've been able to identify and change everything that you've wanted us to up until this point, and now, we need to, look at John Field's memo, take a closer look at what Donna and the proposed change of easement is going to be for the site, and if we can work around that and get some relief, then we'd like to continue
You
moving
need to go
forward.
to the zoning board of appeals.
Right, but they told us we need to get approved by you first.
So
That's what the site plan says, is they have to come here first.
I know that, but in this case, where there are
They need variances.
they need variances. This isn't a special permit situation.
Right.
They actually need variances.
I get it.
It's a different.
Right, and we're hoping that we can get those.
Well,
So what he's asking for is a continuation.
Yeah, we want a
What's
continuation.
the disadvantage for them to have a continuation
Because-
some point later versus withdrawing it?
We don't want to withdraw the application. I mean, we've invested $30,000 in this. We're a small startup. That's a significant amount of capital for us. And we need to, see what our options are.
I read the
no, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
That's fine, but
You need it,
what's-
first of all, second of all, you, in addition to the zoning relief issues, you don't have a septic design yet.
We do, and it's been
It hasn't-
submitted, and we
When was it
paid.
submitted to the Board of Health?
It was, I believe it was this morning.
This morning.
Yeah.
All right, and then.
And the reason why it wasn't submitted prior to that was because we didn't have a site plan that met all the specifications that you wanted. We identified those, we changed it, and then we submitted. And again, we're not going to take steps that don't make sense.
Then, do you realize that the Board of Selectmen are proposing to shift the easement?
And we understand that. So what we wanted to discuss was the fact that we're willing to work around that, but we need to know what that proposed shift is going to be.
Nobody knows.
Okay.
Nobody
So-
Well, and what I had asked them to do is to contact Donna so that hopefully we can all sit down together
Right.
and figure out what makes sense in terms of the layout of Warren Ave, the access easements,
Correct.
which there's a couple of them.
But that's multidisciplinary. That's also going to involve, in addition to the selectmen, it's going to involve the.
Engineering and
the
DPW and the
Warren
council.
Avenue Affordable Housing Working Group.
Right, I understand that.
And so there's a whole stack of issues here.
Right. Well, we're really good at working through complex problems. So
Okay.
if, we can work together on this, we'd like to stick around and see what our options are.
What if the easement was to come through where you're proposing the building?
Well, then we would discuss with the team if, making
our
some
options
adjustments. Yeah, what our options are. I mean, we're pretty flexible, we know what we need, but if we can be flexible and work with the neighborhood and work with the town, we'd like to do that.
So why would we not want to
Because
continue?
so many things might change.
Well, yeah, well, that's why you continue it, so
If they
that
just
stuff
went
gets
through
worked
it,
out.
then they could
We've
solve
already-
them all and
Wait.
come back with a coherent plan.
So, if you do that, you don't necessarily lose $30,000 worth of work.
Right. I mean, that's
It's
what
the
we're.
same process, except that now you're not everything's not hanging on the planning board site plan review.
Right, and
Just
so I guess
throw it
that's
all
why
open
we
for
think we may
discussion.
need to get a lawyer involved just to see, what our options are, and if actually moving the easement, is legal, given the
It's
term
legal.
that
It's
is
legal.
Okay.
It's
They have
already
town
been.
councils.
Okay, well then that's good to know.
I guess from my perspective, kind of having this hang out for months and months until, a number of players make decisions on the layout and what's going on, I think it would be cleaner to withdraw, but when they come back in, expedite their process and use the existing materials that they've submitted to date with no additional fees.
I totally agree. Part of this is going to be, we have to continue this hearing to a date certain,
Okay,
and then we have to continue the hearing again to a date certain.
okay.
And then, it just strings it all out, and it seems to me it's just, I agree with Betsy, it's simpler just to pull it and come back. You're not losing anything
Okay,
by doing that, but
It's administratively simpler is what I
Right.
hear from.
among other things,
The other thing is that the board at the last meeting asked for kind of a business plan to understand how the growth of of your
Right.
company. So you need to provide that.
It's it's done. There was so much up in the air that we wanted to get a continuance.
Okay. And then,
I mean, it's all completed.
So,
The lighting piece was completed, the screening piece was completed, the tight tank, the oil water separator was completed.
but it all may be moot at this point, if the easement's coming where your building's gonna be, all of
Right.
that goes up down the
Right.
so
I guess that's why we wanted to kind of continue and
We wanted to get a feel from Donna, where the proposed easement's going to go. I mean,
she knows.
there can't be a lot of options. So, do we, rework it and put the building in an area where the easement is gonna affect it, and we can do that. It's gonna take, bringing the team back in and obviously capital to do that, but, we're willing to do that. I mean, again, we're in Weston, whether we're on the site operating the way we are now, or we have a facility that's going to, be able to accommodate, the goals that we have. But we're not going anywhere. So, we own the land, so.
Such a case of bad timing.
Yeah.
There's so many moving parts right now with the affordable housing.
It's just too bad
Warren
that
Act,
one
it's just like-
project
Right.
takes precedent
takes
over
precedent
another.
over
Well,
another.
that's a big town-wide as opposed to an individual. as you
Right.
know,
Right.
enterprise.
It's
That's
supported
I'm
the
sorry
town
that you
for
guys
90
got like
years.
squashed in the middle of this whole thing. But
Yeah.
That's exactly what your problem is.
Yeah.
And, not a lot anybody can do about it until the selectmen make up their mind and until they
Okay.
start moving ahead.
Hmm.
Betsy has a reasonable suggestion.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all we got, huh?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
It's best.
You think so?
And she's a casual observer, but absolutely nobody can
Okay,
say
but if they withdraw, they need to withdraw in writing, and it needs to get filed with the town clerk. If they choose to move forward,
I think the best thing is we'll just consult with our council and we'll move forward that way. I really do.
Jonathan
Yeah.
can withdraw.
Yeah, at
I think
this
You wouldn't
point,
even
we're
go
whatever-
so
tomorrow morning
invested
if you realized anyway.
in this
Meet
project.
with him tomorrow.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we could have the opportunity to at least talk to him before
It's
we
up to
make a
you.
decision.
Yeah.
It's your decision.
Well,
Okay.
that's the decision we want to
Yeah.
make.
Definitely.
So,
But in terms of for today, we have to sort of continue it today
We do.
officially.
okay,
So that's on,
Okay.
and then
So
if
it's
you
on the
withdraw
books.
tomorrow, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because we can't close the
Okay.
hearing without doing
so
something.
Okay,
it
yeah.
would be 9:15 on July 16th.
Would it have to be that soon?
Yeah, why not?
Why
They're
can't
never
we
gonna
make it
have it.
September?
Well,
It's never
that-
gonna happen.
You can continue it to that and it, for like 10
And-
minutes.
Yeah.
And say, if miracles happen, you can continue it to the 16th for 10 minutes.
Does it mean they have to come in?
Yes.
But only to say, we'll be back in August, September, with a full set of plans that show all this stuff, or it's been withdrawn by then.
Right.
okay.
It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a 45 minutes
No,
trying
and
to
I know
boom,
that.
boom, boom, boom.
But
Yeah, I know.
why not just continue it to, nothing's gonna be resolved by the middle of July. I guarantee you. guarantee.
Oh, I
To give it a realistic
Give
possibility.
it a real chance, you know.
but you have to do it to a date certain. I'd say you give them 5 minutes on the 16th, and it's going to get continued then. Let them talk to
It
John.
will be.
Or if they
Yeah.
withdraw, then
Yeah,
they.
well, that's a different.
We get the time
Or
back.
continue to September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any timeline on the proposed housing at all? I mean, is it moving?
Yeah, they're going to
smoothly?
town meeting in the fall, so.
Okay.
A lot
You
of
have to
this,
have a plan.
but in the next month, because it's June, July,
Right.
August.
I'm just,
things
I
are
mean,
gonna-
I'm just trying to get an understanding of like is it a year out? Is it 2 years out?
Right.
You know,
The decisions aren't.
okay, but,
Um,
right, so are we within 12 months? Are we within 6 months? Because that, really is kind of important
Yeah.
to what we want to try to, how much do we,
My guess is it's more like 6 months than 12 months.
okay.
That's a guess.
Let's say best case scenario, in 6 months, the town knows exactly where they're gonna do with that land, and then at that point, if the easement is moved, we have to find a way to obviously work around that. And then, get the proper relief that we need from the ZBA, but still, they say you need to approve us before we go to them. So at that point, we're kind of stuck in this.
This is.
I just need to know the process
Site plan
so that
review.
we can do this as efficiently as possible, because we're also trying to run a business.
Well, as I understand it, site plan review applies to a special permit situation,
Okay,
where the zoning board of appeals grants a special permit for, say, replacement construction on a non-conforming lot.
okay,
This requires variances.
okay,
So it's a different, I think it requires variances. You need variance on frontage, you need variance on the fact that you have an unlawful use in a particular zone, that is residential use in a commercial zone.
I think they're industrial there.
Well, whatever it is, but they have a
we
residence
do,
sitting
we have a
there.
residence there that is,
It's not allowed in the zone.
Oh, the resident.
Okay.
So it's a mixed use, and there's a
Okay.
bunch of issues that require the zoning board of appeals to tell you that
okay,
you can have a variance for building a new building
right.
on a
So we have to get the
non-conforming
variances
lot.
from them and explain them to you so that you can then approve the
They,
plan.
Well, they'll explain it
They'll,
to
they'll
us.
They'll issue the
explain
variance.
They
their
have to give it to
decision.
us in writing.
They submitted, okay.
Yeah.
they
All right.
issue a decision that grants you or doesn't grant you the variance.
All right, so given everything that we've accomplished up until this point, I'm sorry, I have to
Yeah.
be able to digest all this information. So given where we are to this point, and we've been able to, we put together the business plan, the lighting, and all the screening, all that kind of stuff, and 6 months from now, we figure out exactly what's going on with the town project. At that point, we then have a conversation with the ZBA, say we need variances for X, Y, and Z, they submit that to you, and then we get together again, correct?
I think that's how.
That sounds
I-
Do they actually have their hearing with the ZBA
Yeah.
before
We have
they
it.
come to us?
Yeah.
I think so,
So
because
we-
we
I-
need
I-
the
Because we need
variance.
a decision.
Well,
Right.
Okay.
Follow
So this is a scenario where,
Jonathan's
unlike
advice on
many
this.
projects in Weston where we come to you, you approve them, you go to the ZBA, we actually have to go to the ZBA first.
I think that's the way it's gonna have to work.
That's the way it's gonna have to work, so then Jonathan would be perfect to get involved with that as well.
Yeah, and
Okay.
to do it sooner rather than later.
Right, so we could technically start working on that now.
So why don't we continue to September, which is 3 months? We'll
Perfect.
know a lot more by then.
Perfect.
We may not be able to.
That sounds
We
like
may
it
still
makes-
have to continue. But
That
does
sounds like
make
it's a
sense
more
to you guys?
reasonable
That's the narrative.
timeframe.
All right, then I'll propose that we
So, yeah,
So
continue
we're
it
meeting,
for 3 months.
so we're meeting July 23rd, we're meeting August 20th.
No, we're looking at September.
Yeah, August 20th, and then you can meet,
August,
then September 3rd would be the next Tuesday,
yeah.
I mean, next Wednesday. So I assume that month will be 3rd and 17th will be our meeting?
The third, is that around Labor Day?
Yeah, it's right after.
Yeah.
Day after.
Yeah, Labor Day's Monday the 1st, so
Yeah,
it's-
okay,
So we do the 17th?
you want to do the 17th?
yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
What time? Want to start them off at 7:30, Betsy?
Yeah,
Ooh, first on, just think.
We'll be all fresh and
Yeah, and happy,
tough.
not crabby.
September 17th.
Most of the answers should be there by then.
17th.
Yeah, that would be great, so we appreciate that.
7:45.
What, 7:45?
7:45.
Yeah, because we have
7:45, right.
7:30's business.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Night-night.
All right. Enjoy
This
the rest
way
of
you
your
don't have to
summer.
worry about it too much.
Right.
Okay,
See you in the
talk to
fall.
Jonathan, bye.
Good to see you.